Federal authorities are planning an immigration crackdown in Minnesota as President Trump turns up his rhetoric against people of Somali descent in the state. It comes after reports that some members of the Minnesota Somali community were engaged in a widespread fraud scheme that stole $1 billion in state funds. Here's what President Trump said at the White House.
I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you. Okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks. And we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country.
Officials say the immigration enforcement will focus on the Minneapolis-St. Paul area and target people with final orders for deportation. President Trump has also threatened to revoke the protected status that allows a small number of non-U.S. citizens from Somalia to stay in the country. The fraud scandal in Minnesota dates back to the height of the COVID-19 pandemic when prosecutors say fraudsters, many from the state's large Somali community, receive public funds to feed kids, fight homelessness, and provide services to disabled children. But prosecutors say the services were never provided. Instead, they say the money was spent on things like luxury cars and real estate abroad. The controversy has ensnarled the state's Democratic governor, Tim Walz, who was the running mate of Kamala Harris in the 2024 election. Critics accuse Walz of turning a blind eye to the fraud out of fear of alienating an important voting bloc for the Democratic Party. Walz denies that politics played a role in the fraud and has set up a state task force to pursue fraud cases. He says those who committed crimes will be sent to prison. The fraud cases and threats of an immigration crackdown have some in the Minnesota Somali community saying they are fearful of being unfairly targeted based on the crimes of a small group of bad actors.